ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and welcome back to Dreadnought. And today we're going to be playing with the supporting class of ships. The last but not least, among everybody's sort of favourite picks right now, these are the tactical cruisers. And I have two of them here in the recruit fleet right now. We have the Cerberus, which is the tier 1 that you begin with, and its slightly bigger sister, the Orcus. Both of, I believe, the Oberon manufacturers. So you can actually see them here. They're actually here. So you start off with the Cerberus and you get the Orcus. And then it sort of branches out from there. I am actually working my way to the Gravis Dreadnoughts. But in the meantime, let's have a look at the Orcus here. So this ship has an interesting set of abilities, which I will demonstrate in a match. So without further ado, just a brief explanation as to what tactical cruisers do. They are the engineers. They repair ships, and they help to keep other ships alive. The main thing is, they are also primary targets for enemy ships. So, you're going to have to be very, very careful. So let's get into a match and see how we get along. Alright, and for the first time, actually, this has not happened before. But we've jumped into a match that's already started. So this is a team deathmatch, and it's basic game mode, 4 points per kill, and first team to reach 100 points is the winner. But let's have a look-see here. We've got another tactical cruiser trying to heal this Corvette right now. So the main role that you play as a tactical cruiser is trying to deny the enemy team kills. The main thing is, because you keep your ships alive, the other team cannot score those kills. And that's really what you have to kind of do. So I've activated my repair autoguns, which allow you to heal multiple targets in short range. And you can see right now, I'm not doing anything. The repair autoguns are targeting ships and trying to heal them. And that's really how this sort of plays out. So we've got our artillery cruiser over there that's taking damage, but with both of us here healing him, he should stay alive just fine. We've got another artillery cruiser here who's taking damage, and we've got a Dreadnought behind us over there, which I do want to go and support because they are definitely going to be taking quite a lot of damage. But I'm going to stick with this artillery cruiser because they've just taken a lot of missile hits. And that's just going to keep them alive just that little bit longer there. So what you saw there was the beam amplifier, and that not only powers up your weapons for damage, it also powers up your healing. And that can be used on either one of the tactical cruisers' weapon systems. So we have our repair beam, which functions as a weapon to damage enemies, but it also functions as a means of healing ships as well. And our secondary weapon are a couple of Tesla turrets, which deal quite significant damage to our enemy ships that come into range, but they have a much shorter range than our repair beam. So we're gonna kind of keep this Dreadnought alive for now, and see if we can deal just a little bit of damage to this ship right here. Got that assist there. I'm going to try and heal this Corvette. He is definitely taking a lot of damage, so try to heal him as much as we can. It is a little bit harder to keep a track on Corvettes, though. Oh, we've been hit by missiles. I didn't hear the missile lock, unfortunately. But that should be fine. We can take a few hits. Not too many, but we can take a few. I'm going to stick with this Dreadnought for now and be his sort of pocket healer for the moment. Alright, you can see a couple of beams firing out there. Alright, so we're in range for the autogun, so if we do need to, we can fire those up for a bit of additional healing. Oh, there's an artillery cruiser over there taking a lot of damage, I'm trying to heal him, and I can't seem to get into range to do it. And he's been taken down. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it. The main problem is line of sight here does pose a few problems. Alright, so we're going to try and damage this tactical cruiser here. We are taking a number of hits right now, so I am going to try and get myself away now. I don't know where our Dreadnought has gone, but this is a bad position to be in right now. Fire up that auto repair. We're going to switch over to the Tesla beams and try to do a little bit of damage, but there's not much you can really do. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I think our Dreadnought got destroyed, maybe, or maybe he was he moved away. He might have used a sort of micro warp and got away. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but we're gonna jump back in here and see if we can. Oh, we've got somebody to heal up immediately. We've got this artillery cruiser who's taken a number of hits. There's torpedoes coming in, traveling a little bit short there. All right, so just try and keep these guys alive for now. Alright, we've got... there's a Dreadnought over there who's taken a little bit of damage. And try and keep them alive. And that's really how you play this. It's all about positioning, and it's all about knowing where your team is and what sort of condition they're in. And just trying to kind of compensate for the damage that they're taking. Oh, that's a lot of damage that's coming in here now. We're going to try and use as much as we can to stay alive right now. Trying to really deal the damage, and that's just not going to work, but we did get a kill out of that. And somebody on the on our team calling for a regroup. Definitely what we need to be doing. We need to get in close. So the main thing really for support classes such as these tactical cruisers is you really need to be as close to as many of your teammates as possible. And that really is helped by having your team just be as close to each other as possible to really kind of be able to heal as many as possible. Now there's one ability I've not shown off yet because I just haven't had a chance to really use it. And that's the repair pod there bound to the number 2 key. And that actually drops a sort of pod that has a burst of healing over a particular area. So we can repair ships without necessarily needing to be there. Alright, so there's a Corvette here. These two Corvettes seem to be dueling each other. I don't really think there's much I can do. I'm just going to do a little bit of damage there just to help them along. It doesn't really help all that much. I'm going to try to get back with the rest of the team. They do seem to be over here. I'm just going to heal this guy up here. But unfortunately, you do need line of sight to really do anything in terms of repairs. So that kind of requires you to be as close to your team as possible. Which is proving to be a little bit difficult here. Alright, so everybody's taken a little bit too much damage here. I'm just going to, I'm going to pop up my repair pod here, try to keep that other, that other tactical cruiser alive. That's the game, really. Alright, and before we jump into a second match, unfortunately that match was a little bit short, so I'm going to jump into another one. But before we do that, I just wanted to quickly show you some of the upgrades that you can get on this ship. And a couple of them do very, very significantly change the way that you play this particular ship. So, aside from the repair auto beams, you do have a number of offensive capabilities as well. You've got a Tesla coil pod, which works the same way as a repair pod, but it does damage instead. So you can actually provide a defensive armament for your friendly ships here. If they happen to be locked down in a particular area, this could be very useful to kind of bolster that sort of defense, especially against corvettes. And you have the Flechette half battery, so it's a smaller version of the Flechette missiles that you might see on destroyers, and it gives you a long-range fire capability, which you may not otherwise have. So if you are looking at doing some artillery mode stuff yourself, you do have that option as well. And of course we've got upgraded repair auto beams, but one that is interesting is this blast pulse here. The blast pulse actually emits a single burst of damage in an 800 meter radius around the ship. So if a corvette passes very close to you and you need a very sort of quick panic move form of damage, you can do quite a lot of damage to them. I mean, 3,900 damage is not a small amount of damage. Against something like a corvette, you're looking at almost half, or at least a third of their full hit points. So that is quite significant if you need that sort of panic move. I found this to be quite useful, especially with the previous phase of the beta. I was using this on a tactical cruiser as well. The video is actually still up in this playlist if you want to go and check that out. I believe it's called Deadly Tacticals. And I use this quite a lot to protect myself and get some kills. So it is quite a useful piece of equipment. The last thing as well is an energy generator, which will allow you to use your modules a lot more. But just bear in mind that that will take away your auto repair, which also can be very, very useful to keep yourself alive. I did use it in the last match, and that is very, very useful as well. So you can see just how quickly this sort of playstyle of a tactical cruiser can change. Now let's jump into a second match and see how that plays out. Alright, so getting into a second match now, and you can see the team set up right now. We do have 2 artillery cruisers. We've got another Orcus class tactical cruiser there. There's a May class Dreadnought, I believe, or at least one of the earlier models of it. Oh, we've also got an Oberon artillery cruiser as well, and 2 destroyers. So quite a mixed team here. Not entirely sure how this is going to play out here. I'm not too certain on exactly what the meta would be, but we're going to get into this and see how that goes along. Alrighty, and already we can see an artillery cruiser there popping up, and our Ruriks are already taking shots at it. Alright, I'm going to stick with our destroyers here and try to keep them alive. I'm not sure where that Dreadnought's gone. Oh, he's just there. He hasn't moved yet. I think he's still taking some shots at something. I'm not entirely certain what. Maybe testing out his abilities, who knows. But I'm definitely going to stay behind this mountain here. I do not want to get seen as early. But that does mean we don't have line of sight on one of our destroyers right now, so that's not the best. We're just going to heal up this guy here. It looks like the other team is firing off immediately at us as well. It's going to do some damage there. Alright, so we've got a damaged artillery cruiser here. We've got a damaged destroyer here. This looks like a good spot, I think, to place a repair pod, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Gives them a place to retreat to, gives them some passive healing as well. Definitely will help to keep them alive. I'm going to put up the auto guns as well, so we can keep this destroyer alive. That looks like a nuke has just gone off. I think it has. I'm going to try and keep this tactical cruiser alive for a little bit longer. We have lost that destroyer, though. Alright, time to heal up this guy here. And, gonna try and deal some damage to that guy over there. Alright, let's try to keep the rest of the team alive. We do have an artillery cruiser, it looks like, over there. Putting some damage onto him to try and take the heat away from our team, but it has put it onto us, unfortunately. So let's put up that repair pod again. So hopefully it helps to keep this destroyer alive. I'm not sure where that artillery cruiser has gone. Our Dreadnought is parked up behind here. I think this destroyer could honestly use a little bit of help, Mr. Dreadnought. Definitely could use a little bit of support from you. Just having to keep looking around. Now this is one thing that you have to do with basically every ship, is you want to keep looking around to make sure that you are aware of the situation. It does appear that the other team is directly behind this this mountain here. So don't want to be poking out too much over there. I'm going to try to keep this guy alive. I don't know exactly why he's decided to pop up like that, and that would be the reason why. So like I said, having to keep yourself, you know, keep aware of your situation, and this is exactly what I was talking about. I completely forgot to look in the direction where I saw the enemies previously, and now we're really taking a beating now. So we've got a lot of people taking a lot of damage now. Let's try to keep this one alive for a little bit longer. We're just going to use up some of our energy here to really boost our weapons. Can reach all the way to that side there, so but that will give away our position. Of course, that beam is very, very visible. Just going to power it up here, try to keep him alive. Fortunately, there isn't a hell of a lot I can do to keep this destroyer alive, but he is taking quite a lot of damage, and there is a destroyer sneaking up on him right now. Alright, he's popped back behind cover, but that does leave me exposed now. So I'm not entirely certain what that destroyer is going to do. Oh, he has been taken out, but I am taking some fire from an artillery cruiser behind there now. They are definitely trying to pick off the supports, as they should, of course. Something that every team would normally try to do is really try to take out the supports in order to knock out an enemy team. So let's try to follow the team now.
You heard the captain.
So we're going to keep this guy alive. He has got a Dreadnought bearing down on him right now. I do need to get in close, drop that repair pod, and then we're going to back out of here. So drop that repair pod about here. And it does look like we're going to lose that one. Just going to hug the ground, quite literally. And try desperately to stay sort of within our own repair zone, but I don't really think there's much I can do now. Unfortunately, I think that is it for me. We've got a Dreadnought supported by 2 tactical cruisers. There's not really much we can do to take that guy down without the whole team focusing fire. Our other tactical cruiser has his shield up, but he is taking a lot of damage, so I feel like he might be the next to go down. It is very even right now, though. Now let's just get ourselves back into position again. There's a destroyer up there. There's an artillery cruiser over there who's just cloaked up, but I did see him there. Let's try to keep this destroyer alive for now. He's taking very heavy bombardment right now. It's all we can really do to keep him alive. The other tactical cruiser has respawned. He did get killed earlier, as I expected. Not sure we can follow these guys in, but we're going to try anyway. We're going to try and repair this guy as much as we can. Now, of course, the repair turrets really don't heal all that much, unfortunately. That's just by very nature of it.
Negative, we're still in cooldown.
So, unfortunately, there isn't a lot we can do. We're trying to fight a Dreadnought right now, which is not going well. I don't think that's a good idea, but he is unsupported right now, so the amount of damage that we are actually doing is quite significant in terms of just the overall scheme of things. But I think he has support now. He is coming back out. Alright, we've got our destroyers now coming to protect us. That Dreadnought there to hopefully put the damage down on him. And there we go. There he's down. We're still in a bad position there. I think this other tactical cruiser is about to go down. I need to put that repair pod up again. So let's try to keep everybody alive, especially this Dreadnought right now. That one's a little bit out of range. Kind of hoping I would have access to a module reset on this, but that might make the tactical cruisers a little bit overpowered. Although that would be very, very nice to have.
Thanks for keeping us airborne.
So there's a artillery cruiser in position over there, and I really, really don't want to be in the way of him. We've just lost another destroyer. That looks like a tactical cruiser that's coming out. I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. But you know, some do some very strange things. There's a Dreadnought poking his head out again. Really don't want to be fighting him head on. That's definitely not something I want to do. Gonna try to keep this destroyer alive. Drop that repair pod as well. Try and keep ourselves alive more than anything. Oh, and that's a lot of missiles coming my way. Shields up. Just noticed it, and that Dreadnought's gone. Nah, the destroyer just got taken out. It's a very, very bad position to be in. I think we are going to get ourselves flanked pretty hard very soon. There's the destroyer right on cue. He is firing missiles at me. Hopefully I can get into cover. He is really trying to take some shots at me. This is not what you want. Really, really not what you want. Gonna put some damage on him. Let's try to heal up that Dreadnought there. Oh, we got another one coming into way. I'm trying to heal him. Oh, he just hit me as well.
Thanks for the assist.
Alright, we're taking a lot of damage. I'm going to put full power to engine so we can get over to that side. We're going to put the auto guns as well up. And let's get ourselves into cover now. Oh, that cruiser got taken out. I think that's the game over, unfortunately. And there you have it. Just a very quick look at how support ships do actually play, or rather tactical cruisers actually play. And of course the Orcus is one example of the tactical cruiser class. There are many others, of course, but generally that's sort of how it seems to be. You're not really built for head-on damage, you're not really built for confrontation in any sort, but you are invaluable at keeping the team alive. As you can see, there were a lot of situations in both matches, and yes, we won one, but we lost one, and that's just the way it goes. But in many situations, we were able to keep ships alive, even though they were on the brink of death. And of course, even if a ship is going to die, that extra bit of health regeneration can keep them alive just that little bit longer for them to secure a kill, or for them to get into a better position. And it can prove to be very, very useful to the team overall. So if you are looking at being that supportive player, then getting to know the tactical cruiser is, of course, your main sort of option, really. I'm not exactly sure what you would call it, but there we have it. That's the tactical cruiser for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you're enjoying this video, and if you enjoyed the series so far, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below what you would like to see in the next video. Is there a particular class you'd like to know how to play? Is there a class of ship that you are looking to buy and you're not really sure how that handles? Do feel free to let me know and I could take a look at it in an upcoming video. My name is Panzer, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you next time.